Hey everyone, welcome to Bookish Nook, and today I thought I would share with you my top 10 favorite TV shows. My list is in no particular order, and some of the series are completed and ongoing. So let's begin with Dexter. Dexter is probably one of my favorites. That's at the top, for sure. It's about someone named Dexter Morgan, who is a serial killer who kills serial killers. You find out that his adopted father taught him how to kill undetected. The show really shows the progression of Dexter as a character through the 8 seasons, as well as the progression of his adopted sister, Deborah Morgan. It really humanizes Dexter's character, and you find yourself rooting for him despite he's a killer. The second show is Criminal Minds. Now, this show is ongoing, and the season is currently going on right now, that I have not watched. I usually wait for it to come on DVD and just marathon it. Now, Criminal Minds is about the BAU, which is the Behavior Analysis Unit, and it's a group of people who analyze behaviors, as their name suggests, and catch killers. What I really like about the show, is probably because I'm a psych major, is the different psychopathologies that they cover and how accurate they are to what they actually are. It follows, each episode is a different case that they solve, and with a sort of a running storyline at probably the first 2 minutes and last 3 minutes of the show. The characters that are on the show are all very likable and relatable. You really do form emotional attachments to them. The show is just amazing. It's so intelligently written and beautifully acted. Like, the actors are actually pretty good. So I really enjoyed it. There are a few actors that I like more than others, as with every other TV show, but Criminal Minds is definitely a show. The third show on my list is Psych, and that is a comedy about two friends, Sean Spencer and Burton Guster, who have a psychic detective agency. Now, Sean is the one who is a psychic detective, and they always become involved in the cases with the Santa Barbara Police Department. The show is absolutely hilarious. There are so many movie references, and there are just so many hilarious moments that you're laughing the entire episode. Each episode covers a different case with sort of like a running storyline between each of the episodes. It's actually coming out. They're actually coming out with a musical of the show, so I'm really excited for that. It's definitely a show worth watching if you're looking for something funny and lighthearted. I think there are 7 seasons out so far. It's exciting, and make sure to look out for the pineapple. The fourth show on my list is Hannibal. Now, Hannibal follows Dr. Hannibal Lecter, who is a psychiatrist, and Will Graham, which is, I think I'm pronouncing it properly, who is part of the FBI, and they're searching for a killer who happens to be Hannibal Lecter, and he happens to be Will Graham's psychiatrist, sorry. The show is deliciously dark. If you've seen it, you'll understand that, or if you know who Hannibal Lecter is. The show is definitely not for children or the weak-hearted. It's pretty graphic, but it's written pretty fantastically. The actors do a fantastic job of portraying each of their characters. I especially like the cases that they cover. They're very sadistic and dark, which is reflective of Hannibal's character. So I really enjoyed that. The show is actually fantastic, and it only has its first season out. The second season, I think, is coming out next year, early next year. I could be completely wrong though. I really enjoyed that, and I think that's because the psych major in me is coming out. But it is definitely worth a watch if you are interested in that kind of thing. It's definitely worth it. The fifth show on my list is The Vampire Diaries. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this series, because when it first came out, I was in high school and I absolutely adored it. Never missed an episode until I get to the second season halfway through, when they're introducing the originals. I guess I didn't really like that concept because I gave up on the show. Recently, they put the first 4 seasons on Netflix, and I decided to give it another try, and absolutely loved it. I marathoned the entire 4 seasons, and I'm excited for the rest of the season 5 to come out so I can marathon that as well. I would definitely recommend this series if you liked Twilight, because it's sort of the same genre with the vampires and the love triangle. and I will always be Team Damon. The sixth show on my list is The Walking Dead. Now, The Walking Dead is a fantastic series. Its pacing is a lot slower than most shows, but the pacing is consistent, and that's what I like about the show. On a side note about consistency, I started watching Breaking Bad, and I did not like it because the consistency of the pacing was all over the place. You'd watch an entire season for something to happen right at the end, and then you'd watch the entire second season for something to happen at the end, and the third season the pacing was out of control. I couldn't handle it. There was too many episodes where nothing would happen, then an episode where everything would happen, and then another 5 episodes where nothing would happen. But with The Walking Dead, you know what you're getting into. The pacing is relatively slow, but it's endurable because the characters are, you've really related to the characters. I really liked, my favorite character probably is Rick. Rick is a really strong character, and I really liked his progression, how he wasn't able to maintain his sanity almost. It's probably an exaggeration, but I really enjoyed how realistic the portrayal of each characters are. It's definitely a good show to watch. The seventh show on my list is Pretty Little Liars. Now, this show is just absolutely ridiculous, and the choices that they make are just as ridiculous, but I love it regardless. I love a good mystery, and this is definitely a good mystery. I did read the books, but I definitely like the show better. The characters, some of them are more likable than others. Hannah being one that isn't as likable because her decisions are the worst out of all the other 3 of them. But it's a really good show, and it's a really good mystery, and I think it appeals to a lot of crowds, even though it's sort of a teen drama. But I definitely like the mystery portion of it, and the mystery just continues. The 8th show on my list is Community. Now, I marathoned this on Netflix when it first came out, and this show is just absolutely hilarious. It's a nice 30-minute quick show about a bunch of people who are at a community college, and they would have unlikely been friends if it isn't for one person in the group who sort of bands them together. It's their study group, and they go to every day, and they take classes together, and they get into crazy shenanigans, and the paintball episodes are the best ones they've done. So I really enjoyed the show for a light sort of comedic break from other things. And the last show on my list is called Suits, and I found this on Netflix just the other day. I put it at the end of my list because I just started watching it, and it's about a guy who has the uncanny ability to memorize everything he's ever read and never forget it. So he pretends to be other people and take the bar exam to be a lawyer and pass. And then he winds up at an interview running away from the cops from a drug deal gone bad, and ends up landing a position as an associate to Harvey, who is part of a lawyer's firm. The show is quick-witted, funny, and just absolutely well written. I really like this kind of humor. I hate stupid humor. I love intelligent humor, and this is exactly what it is. So I'm excited to see where this series progresses. I've seen some good things about it, so I'll have to let you guys know when I finish. So those are my top 10s. If you like or hate any of these shows, let me know down below. But other than that, bye!